So Nina Waysdorf, she works with Walking Mountain Science Center, which is one of the coolest organizations that we have here in our valley. So not only are they really amazing when it comes to sustainability and really kind of encouraging us to be nice to this area that brings us so much, but also they have some really, really cool programs. Like they have, snowshoe tours that they do with families, and they have great ways to introduce you to the nature that surrounds us and educate you a little bit more on it and make it fun at the same time. Nina, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Where are you joining us from this morning?
Morning. So I'm actually from Denver, down at my parents' house.
Oh,
So
okay.
unfortunately, not getting any of the powder turns. It's
Yeah,
pretty dry
no.
down here.
Is it dry down there? You're not seeing any of the snow? Isn't that
No.
That's crazy how these
Yeah, it's
mountains work,
crazy.
right? Well, listen,
Yeah,
I mean, how
wild.
beautiful are those shots though from Kenhovie and seeing the nature that we live in. It really is amazing. And so, Nina, we saw a great story earlier this week in the Vale Daily talking about just ways like we just had this like giant holiday. There's wrapping paper and boxes and trees and like all the stuff. So how can we be a little bit more sustainable this year? Maybe
Yeah.
reduce some of all this waste. Give us some tips.
Yes, great question. So this is such a funny time of year, because there's so much abundance. We have so much more stuff and food and products and things, and that tends to lead to more waste. And a lot of, like you said, unknown waste that we don't think about. Usually, we're not normally thinking about how to throw away like Christmas trees and tissue paper. So it is, it's pretty easy to still celebrate and enjoy this time of year and still kind of keep sustainability in mind. And that really goes for any holiday, not just this time of year, although it's this, we tend to think about it more now. But a really great opportunity is to reduce organic waste going into the landfill. So food scraps, yard waste, like our Christmas trees, as much as we can pull that stuff out of the landfill, that's going to be an awesome opportunity, because that's when we put that kind of stuff in the landfill, it releases methane, which is a really potent greenhouse gas. So that's what we're really concerned about.
I thought that was really
But
interesting.
luckily, yeah.
As part of your, things that I reading this article, I learned a lot. So basically, like our Christmas trees, what would be
hmm
the best way to essentially, especially if we got the natural trees, like Em and I both cut our trees down this year
Yep.
with our families. So what's your recommendation for those?
So there are a ton of collection and drop off Christmas tree recycling programs throughout the valley. Almost every town has a program. The landfill runs a program. There's tons of opportunities to get your Christmas tree out of the landfill. So we have a list going on the Walking Mountains blog. That article had a bunch of them in there. You can also reach out to your town directly for details on dates, times, whatever. And most of these, so some of the towns do like a bonfire type of thing. Most of these collection programs will mulch up the trees and then use them for like landscaping, gardens, that kind of thing. So really keeping them out of the landfill. It's awesome. So it's just important to make sure that you're following the guidelines, like taking the lights off. Like you said, they have to be natural trees, not artificial trees. And just make sure that it's just Christmas trees. You're not mixing a bunch of other trash in there.
You're not like throwing extra house plants and like other random
Exactly.
things in there. Okay, so all right, so good to know. So I have plans to contribute to the 12th night event in Eagle where they do like a big bonfire with the trees with mine. So
Exactly.
and what's nice too is that if you're like kind of like a little bit of like a Christmas crazy person like I can be, where I'm like, but I want to hold on to the tree until after New Year's. It doesn't happen until January 6th, so that's good. Okay, now Nina, something else that
Yeah,
I
and
thought
most
was
of the collections will go through mid-February too. Sorry to cut you
oh
off,
good. No,
but
no,
just so you have a
good.
little bit of time.
Okay.
The
So
landfill actually takes them for free year round, so you don't even
oh,
have to. You can keep it up until July, and
perfect.
still they'll still mulch it up for you.
See, so many
Yeah,
solutions. Nina, that is amazing. Okay, now also something that I thought was really interesting is that so tissue paper is not recyclable.
correct. Yeah, it's a little bit. If you feel it around, it's kind of a different paper than like a newspaper or office paper, which is what we tend to recycle. But if you compost, if you're part of one of our compost programs throughout the valley, you can go ahead and compost tissue paper as long as it doesn't have any like metallic or foily pieces.
Interesting. Okay, so you can
Yeah,
compost it, but not necessarily recycle it unless you want to like,
correct.
regift it and different.
Reuse it. Reuse is always the most sustainable option. As
Okay.
much as we can reduce or reuse our waste. So
I
I
like
always encourage that if you haven't shredded it up too much.
Okay, now also let's talk about wrapping paper. So, what's the
Yeah.
deal with recycling wrapping paper?
Yeah, so same kind of rules apply. You want to make sure that you're not recycling anything with foil or metallic pieces. That's really the catch. It has to be like paper only wrapping. The dual stream recycling, free drop sites. If you have dual stream at home, you can recycle that paper. Single stream, you can recycle wrapping paper as long as, again, it doesn't have that metallic or foil.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's just the big thing to look out for.
And
But
also
you're good to
good
understand
for,
that.
buying paper in the future. So you kind of think about like
Exactly.
it's
Yeah,
great
it's a
if it's
good way to
metallic.
plan ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Right.
So if people want to learn a little bit more just about sustainability in general, and then also if they want some more of your tips, where would you send them, Nina?
So I would send them to our Walking Mountains website. We have a ton of blog posts, how-tos, all kinds of stuff about ways to reduce waste and just generally live more sustainably. We run a bunch of different sustainability programs. We also have a free app for all things waste. So the Eagle County Waste Wizard app, you can download it on your phone or use it on our website as just a web platform. And that's really like having this interview in your pocket. So you can search by material and it'll tell you, the app will just tell you what bin to put your waste in. So it's a really
Awesome.
easy tool. We update it at Walking Mountains, so if the rules change, we'll update it on the app. You don't have to worry about it.
That is so helpful. Well, listen, Nina, thank you so much for joining us so early from your parents' house. Tell them hello. And obviously, they did a great job raising somebody that's educating us on all
Well,
kinds
thanks.
of amazing ways to keep this valley so beautiful. So hopefully, we'll hear more from you soon. But thank you, and hopefully, maybe I'll see you at one of these Christmas tree bonfires.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me and enjoy all the snow up there. I hope it
Oh
comes
yeah.
down here eventually.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll keep you
Yeah.
posted. But yeah, speaking of that, we're gonna send things back out. All right, Nina, thank you so much, and